In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw up our cutting board in Aspire. So once we have Aspire open, we want to create a new file. And this is our canvas, or like the size of the part that we're going to be using to cut. And the size of our part of Corian that we're going to be using to cut out is 12 inches by 12 inches in the X and the Y. And our thickness for our Corian is actually going to measure at 0.467 inches thick. We want to make sure that our units is in inches, and our Z0 position is going to be on the material surface. When we V-carve and cut our stuff out, we want to make sure that we are zeroing off the top of our piece of Corian. If this is one of the first times that you're using Aspire, the XY datum position defaults to our the center of our part. We actually want to put that in the lower left-hand corner right here so that it coincides with the absolute coordinates of our machine. We do not want to use an offset at all. So once you have that set up like what we have here, you want to press OK. And our cutting board is going to be just a simple rectangle that's going to be 11 inches by 9 inches with some radius corners. So we want to draw our rectangle, and we are going to have our radius external for our corner type, and it's going to be 3/8 of an inch, which is 0.375. The width of our rectangle is going to be 11 inches. The height of our rectangle is going to be 9 inches. And when we hit create, it may pop up in the lower left hand corner like it did right here. What we'll do is we'll hit close, click on our rectangle, click it a second time so that the arrows pop up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this into the center of my part, or of my in the center of our piece. Another quick shortcut to be able to do that is over on the left hand side here where it says transform objects. We can click on the far right one where it says align selected objects, and we can align that to the material right there as well. So we'll hit close. So this is going to be the outline of our cutting board. The next thing I want to do is I want to create a small little circle right there that you can use for a thumb hole, or that you can hang up or whatnot. So we'll click on draw circle, and my X is going to be 1.5 inches in, so we'll go 1.5, and my Y is going to be 2.5 inches up, and this is going to be for the center of our circle. My diameter is going to be 1.25 inches or 1.25, and we'll hit create. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to put in some sort of, we'll call it a juice groove, and this is just if you're going to be cutting your fruits or your veggies, and you don't want that water or that juice to go onto your countertop. We want to have a tiny little groove to be able to collect any of that. So how we will do this is we will create an offset. So I'm going to select the outline of that. I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard, and I'm going to select the circle right there as well. And I'm going to come down and click on my offset tool. And I'm going to go inwards or to the left because I want to have this offset go on the inside of our lines. So I click inwards, and I am going to change that to an offset of 3/8, which is 0.375. So now we have that small little line that goes all the way around. We'll hit close. And what I want to do now is I want to create rounded corners right there so that we don't have sharp edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my fillet, and it's going to be a normal fillet, and I will use a radius of 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch, and I'm going to select all my corners at that 1/8 of an inch to ease those edges, just like that. And we'll click on close. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line of text right here so that we can personalize our cutting boards to whichever name, brand that you would like. So I'm going to click Draw Text. And for this one, I am going to select a font of my choosing. So for this one, we will say, oh, I don't know, that one looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Wildcats. And my text height is going to be 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75. And we'll hit close. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my text, and I am going to bring it down in between there. If we want to have it centered, you can highlight that edge, and it will center it in there, just like that. Alright, so to review, we set up the size of our board, we brought in a rectangle, we have a circle, and then we did an offset and put in some text. In the next video, we will learn how to run our toolpaths to be able to start cutting this out.